all these creators, they have such cool designs. Wonder if I could make my own. All I'd need to do is take all of them, and a little flick of this lever, and... Oh, no. What is that thing? No, 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 no! I know a lot just happened, but it's not important at all. Don't worry about it. I'm fine. I only had like 1 or 2 concussions. Anyways, this video is about how I created my Sona, the little guy you just saw get beat up, and the little guy you're seeing talk right now. So let's begin. To make a little guy, I've gotta embody a little guy. I must become little guy. And to do that, I looked at a bunch of different YouTubers, and tried to understand what was similar and different from their little guy designs. Starfish Face made themselves into an elf to make their persona. Drawfee generally makes themselves all into normal people, although Karina has become a cat person, and Julia has recently been turning into a ghost and a fish. Xailor changed from a human to a star baby, and Qwifwen and Skynix have both just become VTubers. They're all very different. So how would I make my own little guy? You might be asking, Deem, why don't you just use a little guy you already have? All your drawings are so good and amazing already, why don't you just use them? To which I'd say, no they're not, they all suck. What are you talking about? Look at this. I mean, this was from like 3 or 4 years ago, but look at this. Come on. You can't lie to me. That was horrible. But I did kind of do that because I took a character I already had, Haze, and tried to use her. I didn't even try to change her at first, but after some really bad attempts of not changing anything about her, I decided to change everything about her. I added tentacles, I added way too many eyes, I added tentacle horns, I added a skirt, I took away the legs completely for some reason, I took away the hands completely because I thought it was fun, and by the end of it, I kind of liked the final one. It was just a little guy. He didn't even have all of her features. So I made another little version of it, another page to test out what I should do. The one on the left looked quite similar to the page before, but the one on the right, he was just a little freak. He had these tentacles and I don't really know, it looked very weird to me. But at the time, I really liked it, so I kept it, I guess. And I made an entire page of it, including little guys of it. But the next day, as you can hear from me now, I absolutely hated it. The next day, I kind of thought about all the issues I had with that design. The horns were fleshy, the legs just didn't feel real. The ghost parts were good, and the tentacle parts were kind of getting in the way of that, so I went full ghost, scrapped everything tentacle, and went from there. The tentacle horns became ghost horns. The colors also changed from purple and yellow to blue and orange, because, I mean, blue and orange is just the best color palette. It's just so good. If you think any other 2 colors work better together, you can fight me. I'm looking at you, Xailor. Blue and orange will always beat cyan and red. You cannot argue against that, I'm just right. I took away the legs to make it more ghostly. I gave him that little Casper tail thing, whatever you call that. And knowing that I already hated what I did before, I left this for tomorrow. So the next day, I woke up, and I still liked this design. So I did more art to solidify it. I pretty much did all the sprites of myself, the little guy talking, and a lot of the poses were based on the Starfish Face because, I mean, her little guy has amazing poses, so I've gotta. But it is kind of weird to be emotive without a mouth. I was inspired by Let Me Explain Studios and the way that she does it, because, I mean, it's insane. You can show pretty much just as much expression with a mouth as you could without it, by just using the body language and making everything very comical. So I did that. And at the very end, it weirdly looked like the character it was based on. Because, I mean, they still had the wraps, they still had the ghostly nature to them, they still had the giant hair. The only thing that did change was the tentacle horns. Because once I added those, they ended up sticking around later as these ghostly horns. So, I guess you win some, you lose some. And sometimes you bet it all on Red 16, and you lose it all on Red 16. But then the next day you come back, and you bet all of your life savings on evens or something. What is this analogy? I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know how to gamble. In the end, the design still might change. I mean, obviously not now. I'm already using these sprites. I can't go back on these. But later it might change. So, yeah, I guess that's all. Thanks for listening to my story. Bye-bye! Also, if you really like this guy, you think he's like so cool and crazy and insane and kooky and bananas and wild and crazy and insane, then you can also make fan art of him and tag me on Blue Sky and Instagram. Because, yeah, it's so cool. And like, look at him. He's so tiny. He's so fun to draw. You don't even have to draw a nose. Think about that. Think about all the responsibilities you can ignore by drawing only these two large eyes. He doesn't even have pupils. Think about that. Shh, now go. Go, leave.